Assalamu alaikum and hi everyone. Welcome to the Purple Valuation, and this is the first video of this new channel. And in this video we're going to talk about Tim Hortons brand and Tim Hortons accident. Tim Horton born on 12 January 1930 in Ontario, Canada, and he died on February 21, 1974. And if we talk about brand Tim Hortons, so it is Canada's most famous multinational coffee house and restaurant chain in the world. In May 17, 1964, Tim Horton was founded, and till today it becomes so popular throughout the world. Tim Horton and Jim Sherrod both started this business, and after an initial venture in hamburger restaurants in 1967, Horton partnered with investor Ron Joyce, who assumed control over general operations and positions after the death of Tim Horton in 1974. Before that, he was a great NHL player, and later on he started his business called Tim Hortons. Heartbreaking death of Tim Horton. 44 years old, Tim Hortons lost his life too early in a vehicle accident. He was intoxicated when he was driving a car, which takes him to the fatal car crash, and a sudden death had happened. It is believed that Niagara police were in pursuit of the car for its excessive speed at the time before Horton lost his control over the speedster on a curved section over the 12-mile creek. The car was slid off the highway, then hit the concrete drainage culvert, causing it to flip number of times. Tim Horton, who wasn't wearing a seat belt, flew out the passenger door, landing nearly 25 meters away. Horton was pronounced dead on arrival to the hospital. Afterwards, Tim Horton's autopsy were released until over so many years ago goes away, which was way back in 2005. He was driving with consuming so much alcohol and has traces of antidepressants, appetite drug in his body. But seemingly he lived enough life to see his donors were become so famous in Canada, which became a multi-million-dollar franchise in the year 1968. During his NHL days, he also created lots of news ideas to his business. Tim Hortons' success. In Canada, donor shop was appearing in suburban areas of Ontario in 1950s. They were small and locally owned. Soon afterwards, when you talk about the restaurants, many would associate with Tim Hortons and Ron Joyce. However, Horton opened a first restaurant with Jim Sherrod for a Quebec snack food company. Sherrod initially wanted to open a retail donor shop with Waken, but later on, company not goes according to the expectations and ideas. After some hassle, Horton wanted to open a donor shop and Sherrod wanted to go with the hamburger. But then their pair opened a few burgers focused on drive-in restaurants, with Sherrod licensing Horton's name to rebrand his donor shop into Tim Horton Donor Shop. Ultimately, restaurant would struggle and Sherrod goes with Tim Horton donut idea, finally established the first time Horton's franchise, and later it continues to set the tone, and the brand did it very nicely. Here are some Tim Hortons famous menu items. Timbits, hash brown, iced coffee, ice cap, apple fritter, the very special mac and cheese, grilled cheese, cookies, pretzel bagels, muffins, and the most delightful chocolate cheesecake, donut, cinnamon rolls, maple dip donut, and many more. Ron Joyce contribution. After Tim Horton, Ron Joyce was the main lad who made Tim Hortons household name in Canada and introduced the brand to the world. Ron Joyce retained his share of the company and later took over the portion left for Laurie Horton. Aside from many legal challenges, Ron Joyce grew Tim Hortons into a true Canadian business success story by franchising outlets. He has done a tremendous job from entire his career and make Tim Hortons one of the best and eminent coffee house restaurant chain in the world. So this is the video about Tim Hortons. Hope you guys like this video. Be with us and Do like, share, and subscribe Purple Valuation because together we can build world great. Zag bin Imran signing off.